Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the bulk inner and outer tie rods used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. Lift the front of the vehicle. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. To be able to change the inner and outer tie rods on your vehicle, you must remove the wheels to gain complete access to the steering system. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. You can now see the outer tie rod end. As the components to be removed are very often seized up, don't hesitate to brush and to use penetrating oil to facilitate the operation. With a marker, trace a line between the axle joint and the tie rod end. It will help later during disassembly and reassembly process. Using a 21mm spanner, release the tie rod end lock nut on the inner tie rod side. Hold the tie rod axle joint with a 19mm spanner to prevent it from turning. The lock nut is there to prevent any rotation of the two parts towards each other, which could have an impact on the alignment of your vehicle. Brush the tie rod end retaining nut and spray with degreaser. Using a 17mm spanner and a 30mm Torx spanner, loosen the tie rod end's retaining nut. If you don't have a ball joint puller, take a hammer and hit the lock nut hard just at the end of the threading. The ball joint should move away from the pivot. Only tap on the tie rod end pivot if you're changing the tie rod end, otherwise you risk damaging the threading. Paying close attention to the point of reference, unscrew the tie rod end, counting the number of turns necessary to extract the tie rod end. This will allow you to find an approximate setting when reassembling. For greater accuracy, we advise you to measure the distance between the lock nut and the end of the tie rod ball joint using a caliper. In any case, an alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional after performing this operation. Remove the lock nut from the axle joint. With a cutter, cut the external part of the sleeve so that you can remove it. With a flathead screwdriver, remove the internal metallic clip on the sleeve. Remove the sleeve. Using a tie rod ironer extractor, a specific tool for carrying out this job, you can now loosen everything without difficulty. To do this, insert the tool up to the fixed part of the tie rod, then with a socket wrench and a long extender, force it in an anti-clockwise direction. If the tie rod axle joint is equipped with marks, release them using adjustable spanners.
Okay, guys, if we can share this video with you and help you save a lot of money, is also thanks to our partner, Mr. Auto. So, if you want to support us and buy the part for this operation, visit their website. Okay, back to work.
You will find the bulk parts and products used in the video on the Mr. Auto site and in the link in the description. Take the new axle joint and unscrew the lock nut provided with it. Before installing the new tie rod axle joint, apply a medium thread locker to prevent accidental unscrewing. Put the tie rod axle joint back on the steering rack. Still using the same tool or using an adjustable spanner, block the tie rod axle joint but in a clockwise direction this time. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Then remove the tool. Take the new sleeve. Put the internal clip back on. Apply silicone grease to the parts of the sleeve that will be in contact with the tie rod ball joint. put the internal clip back on. Then install the sleeve. During this operation, you will work on the steering system of your vehicle. Checks on tyre alignment, when carried out by a professional, will guarantee that your steering system has been perfectly aligned and is in good working order. There is a specific pair of pliers for carrying out this operation, but wire cutters with pliers should do the trick. Tighten the ring, taking care not to force the movement or to cut the ring. Put the external clip back on. And crimp it. Screw the Locknut back until the distance measured with the caliper is reached. Take the new tie rod end and unscrew the Locknut supplied with it. Remove the plastic protection. Using a wire brush, scrub the pivot, then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the tie rod bellows. Put the tie rod end back in place until it touches the Locknut. To align the tie rod end with its pivot without affecting the adjustment of the Locknut, rotate the axial bolt joint using a spanner. Replace the bolt joint in the pivot. Put the Locknut supplied with a new part in place and tighten it using a 17mm wrench, the socket wrench and a 5mm Allen socket. Finish off the tightening with a Torx wrench. Finalize the tightening of the Locknut using a 22mm spanner while holding the tie rod end using a 20mm spanner to avoid damaging the tie rod end. Now you can put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put your vehicle back on the ground and fix the wheels in place properly. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from UseTool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.